I'm Nick Arzner. I'm the co-founder of Block 15 Brewing Company here in Corvallis. My wife and I started Block 15 in 2008, so we just turned 2 years old. I'm standing in front of our custom-built 7-barrel brew house. 7 barrels, meaning we brew about 14 kegs at a time. Let's see, we are right downtown Corvallis in a building that was originally built for the Gazette-Times in 1926. So on this portion, you might be able to hear the restaurant is on the other portion here. This is our brew house. We brew upstairs, and then downstairs, we'll show you here in a little bit, is our cellar, and that's where all of our fermentation and cellaring goes on. So we have 14 beers on tap. On the right side, what I call the right side of our menu, if you were here, you would see on a chalkboard, we have what I call Northwest Brew Pub Classics. We have a Pale Ale, Printmasters Pale Ale, kind of named in honor of the printmasters that would have been in this building. We have a Glow Golden Ale, nice, easy drinking golden ale. A Naked Oat Stout, which is our spin on a stout. We implement golden naked oats, give a nice sweet nutty flavor to the beer. Alpha IPA, which is just straight hops all the way. Ridgeback Red, a nice malty and hoppy red ale, named for my Rhodesian Ridgeback Caspian. And then we also have Aboriginal, which is actually the first kind of big beer we brewed here. Really, we call it a Northwest Freestyle Ale, kind of defies styles. And that's what we have on tap all the time. On the left side of our menu, we rotate through a lot of different types of beers. We always have a fruit ale that we use local fruit in. We have a rotating Belgian style ale. Right now we have Troubled Monk, which is a Belgian strong ale, kind of the malt makeup of a double with the strength of a triple. And then we just rotate in seasonals and fun ales. A lot of what comes out of barrels. What we have down here, this is our bourbon barrel room. These are Buffalo Trace barrels. We get in barrels about once a year. We're going to try to increase that probably to 2 times a year, freshly emptied from Kentucky. These barrels housed a few different beers, 2 of which you can find on tap right now. Super Nebula, which is about a 10% Imperial Stout that we aged about 6 weeks. These fresh bourbon barrels, we do a couple unique things in our brewery. You probably don't see this very often, but this is actually a very low pressure carbon dioxide feed we put on our barrels. That way we don't have to top off our barrels. As they breathe and the beer is absorbed into the staves and pushed back out, rather than topping off, it fills with carbon dioxide. We feel we get a much cleaner and more kind of potent bourbon character out of that. Alright, so we're down here in our cold cellar. We keep this at about 50 degrees. All of our beer, after we bring it out of tanks or barrels, we age in here. We're actually, right under here is the sidewalk. This is where they used to have an elevator that they would bring in the big rolls of printing paper. As you can see over here, we still have kind of some handprints from the ink. You can actually get that ink off there. This building was built in 1926 for the Gazette-Times newspaper. I believe the Gazette-Times was here until about the early 70s, at what point it potentially could have came a men's clothing store. We've seen blueprints for that, but it's kind of questionable whether it was actually ever here. If it was, it was for a short amount of time. And then it was converted into a pizza parlor. Upstairs, a lot of the big wood beams and woodwork you see is from those tradesmen coming in here and putting that in. And it was a pizza place, I believe, called Old Town Pizza for several years, and then it was a changed over pizza, different pizza joints a couple different times until we got into the building in actually 2007, and we spent about a year cleaning up, reconfiguring, taking the pizza oven kitchen out, installing a full restaurant kitchen, and of course installing a brewery and all of the cellar work we need to do for our beer production. And we hope to now be in this building for quite some time, or hopefully the rest of its history.